How many years will it take until robots do all the labor?
I can't afford robots and probably won't for at least another 40 years.
Even if the robots, you know, the prices fall over time. I mean, the first year robots are available, they'll be really expensive, but you think 5 years after that?
I don't know. Robots themselves have been around for quite a while now. But, you know, they've got robots that can go to the moon and poke at rocks for us and do stuff like that. They're not any cheaper, really. Not getting any cheaper.
2 years ago when I interviewed you, you were about to go into space.
I was what?
You were about to go into space. How did that go?
You know, space is not what I hoped it to be. I was expecting far more. You know, sci-fi, they just don't do it justice.
How many robots were there?
You know, at first there were about 20, and then I think through, you know, controversy and pure boredom, there ended up only being about 5 left. Yeah. That was, I think, the only exciting thing.
Was the robot war?
Something like that. But I wouldn't really call it a war because they're robots. They do what we tell them to.
And they were cannibalizing each other.
At one point, yeah. Apparently they consume their wounded.
You can program a robot to think anything, really.
Space. It's not all it's cracked up to be.
I'm a little bit amazed that you've lived in Portland, you've never moved away from Portland, but you're not aware of all the robot attacks that they have. Like on Burnside, robot, you're minding your own business, all of a sudden a robot's slapping you around.
That's never happened to me. I've lived in Portland for 9 years, too.
You're very lucky.
I guess so. Maybe they just think that I'm also a robot.
That could be.
See? Now, see?
I have to ask you a question.
Okay.
Now, I've met a lot of librarians that are perfectly nice. But I've had this concern that's a growing concern, and I have to ask this question of you.
Okay. All kinds of questions.
I'm a little bit afraid that somewhere behind all the other librarians, you are hiding an evil queen.
How did you decide that?
Is this true?
I can neither confirm or deny that.
But somewhere, maybe in a little room, somewhere where the public doesn't go, you might be getting your marching orders from an evil queen librarian.
I can neither confirm or deny that.
I'm gonna have to go with that. That's the kind of answer that means yes.
Now, I was talking to the Stumptown people over there about Portland, and I was telling them about my concerns that I used to live in Portland, and the thing I remember the most is that there's a big problem with robots.
We do have some robots going on. I have encountered the odd robot here.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've avoided any pictures or I-beams, but yeah, they're moving in.
That's what I thought. The lady from Stumptown said that she had never seen a robot in her 9 years.
Really?
And then we determined that it was because they're behind her. Which, if anything, is more scary.
Or they might be secretly replacing all of her friends. And many of her friends are robots and she doesn't know it.
I was afraid to mention that to her. Because she was sitting next to Katie O'Brien. Do you know her?
Yeah, sure.
She might be a robot.
Maybe, yeah.
Nice girl.
Right, yeah, sure.
Could be a robot. Because you never know.
I can see it. So you putting the camera in between you and me, is that so I don't ask you how you're doing? Like what you've been up to?
You could ask me how I'm doing.
Well, how are you doing?
I've been fighting robots.
Yeah.
Like anybody else.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story about fighting robots. One day there was a robot walking down the street and I jumped him because I feel that's my duty as a citizen. And I started beating that crap out of him. And he started screaming, I'm just a guy in a robot suit. And I didn't stop because that's what all the robots say.
Right, yeah. It wasn't that guy, was it? See, he heard that and he took off.
Not yet.
Right.
But I think he's on the list.